A couple weeks ago, I posted part 1 to my Justin Bieber deep dive, and I just found out some bombshell news that connects the multiverse of my deep dives together. Now, if you recall, we briefly touched on Justin being on an episode of NCIS, and that his character was shot oodles of times before dying. Well, Justin had a body double for that scene. And whom exactly was this body double, you ask? None other than Ryland fucking Adams, aka Shane Dawson's husband. That's right, he was not only in the vicinity of Justin Bieber, not once, not twice, but multiple times.
Back in the day when I first moved to Hollywood, I was actually Justin Bieber's photo double multiple times. It started for CSI, and then I did his Macy's Christmas commercial.
Guys, I am actually terrified by this information. The walls are closing in on me right now. There's mist everywhere. There's a thing. And behind that thing is Shane Dawson. Like, he is an omniscient entity cursed upon my life. With that being said though, listen up. In the last episode, we covered Justin's origins, the birth of the incorrigible Bieber hate train, exploitation, and finally, the budding love triangle between him, Selena Gomez, and Hailey Baldwin. Part 1, of course, is not required reading, but I always do recommend watching my videos in order if you can. I also recommend subscribing, and I don't know, is this crazy, liking the video, or is that way too much? Is that absolutely insane? The baby daddy scandal of 2011. In October of 2011, a woman named Mariah Yeater went public with a story about hooking up with Justin backstage at one of his concerts a year prior, and that she became pregnant after their air quotes 30-second sexual encounter. Therefore, he would be the baby daddy, and she's gonna take him to court. And this whole thing was really stupid from the jump, not just because she claimed to have proof of this happening, but then failed to cough up said proof, but also because she was 19 at the time of this alleged encounter, and he was 16, meaning that, if you're following, by California law, that counts as statutory R-word. So even if it was true, the whole damn thing is illegal and gross to begin with. And interestingly, this is something that gets brought up to her during an insider interview, and her response is like unbelievably bad.
Is there any concerns about being prosecuted over having sex with a 16-year-old?
Concerns, most definitely, yeah. I mean, especially when he came onto me.
When has saying the underaged minor came onto you ever been a valid argument? Like, do you know you are saying this on national television right now? But Justin was very adamant that he had never even met Mariah, let alone did the goddamn do with her. And during this same insider interview, she's shown a clip of Justin saying just that. And in response, she just starts weeping.
It's crazy that some people want to make up such false allegations, but set the record straight, none of it is true.
Do you know this woman? Her name is Mariah Yeater. Have you ever met her?
Never met the woman.
Here's the thing. Not only did Justin have an alibi for the night that she claims this took place, he went off stage with his bodyguard and his mom met him in his dressing room, but he also straight up agreed to take a paternity test. And if you couldn't already tell, this was like huge news. Every major news outlet and talk show was yapping about this. The Talk, Good Morning America, The View, you name it.
Does the kid have his bangs? No.
Even Jimmy Fallon did a parody of it on his late night show.
Apparently there's a woman who's claiming that in 2010 she had sex with him backstage in a bathroom at the Staples Center for 30 seconds.
In the end, Justin took that paternity test, and needless to say, it proved that she was lying the entire time, which is really insane if you think about it. Like, even if you exclude like the morality and the how terrible it is to try to do this to somebody, just think about how anxiety inducing it would be to keep lying about this, even on TV, knowing in the back of your mind you are going to get exposed like any day now. Oh my God.
There are people watching this that are not going to believe what you're saying.
I've provided evidence to my attorneys, and it'll show in court.
I'm just trying to understand it even. Was this like a lie that she told one time and then she thought it wasn't gonna go anywhere, but then it actually did, and it snowballed into her having to continue it? I don't know. Well, let me know what you guys think.
Every time I asked her a pointed question, she either began to cry or she got up and walked out.
Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
But anyways, this led to Justin getting the last laugh, of course, and he loves being mischievous online, so he tweeted this: "Dear Mariah Yeater, we have never met, so from the heart, I just wanted to say," and then he linked this video.
"You will never get this, you will never get this, la 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 la."
So at this point, despite it all, he was on top of the world. And on June 15th, 2012, he released his third certified platinum record, Believe, which charted #1 on the Billboard 100, obviously because it is filled to the brim with bangers such as Boyfriend, As Long As You Love Me, All Around the World Are These Ringing a Bell, and then there's my personal favorite, which is Beauty and a Beat, courtesy of the line Justin Bieber buns out wiener, but I gotta keep an eye out for Selena. There was no doubt that Justin was growing up outside of the negative things that everybody else was projecting onto him. He was maintaining an image that Scooter Braun had spent many years carefully crafting. You know, shrink wrapping him in layers of purity, innocence, and PG-13 approved charm. Truly, other than getting pulled over for a speeding ticket once, things remained that way. That was until 2013, when his crash out era officially began. The year people would stop thinking about him like this and start, trigger warning, seeing him like this. Granted, as you'll see, quite a bit of this crash out era is defendable, but some of it, of course, maybe not so much. Either way, it all started on January 19th, 2013, with a full moon. Ooh. Justin would upload an unwarranted image of his naked butt onto Instagram, only to quickly delete it moments later. Only a few got to witness this unholy mooning in real time. Then, just a few days later, he leapt and landed into a new controversy, because Justin made a choice so diabolical, so vile, so recreational. He smoked weed. He smoked weed. Yes, it's hard to believe in 2025, but people used to actually give a fuck about celebrities smoking weed. Keep in mind, at this point, Justin is literally a 19-year-old young lad. Like, what the fuck do they expect from him? I feel like probably 40% of 19-year-olds are smoking weed. And they did this exact same thing to Miley Cyrus when she was 18. But the most crazy thing about this, okay, you guys aren't even ready for this, is that apparently in the middle of this scandal, a paparazzi named Chris Gara ran through traffic and literally died while trying to get a picture of Justin in his car smoking weed.
Guerra ran through Los Angeles traffic to snap pictures, ignoring an officer's order to return to his car. When Guerra did walk back to his car, police say he was fatally hit by an SUV.
Not only this, but we now know that when he got into view of that vehicle in his final moments, it wasn't even Justin who was driving in the car. It was his friend, Lil Twist.
It turns out Bieber wasn't even in the car. It was his friend, rapper Lil Twist, in the driver's seat.
Like, wow, what an interesting fate. Justin issued a statement after this that read,
"Hopefully this tragedy will finally inspire meaningful legislation and whatever other necessary steps to protect the lives and safety of celebrities, police officers, innocent public bystanders, and the photographers themselves."
Obviously that death was not his fault or anything, but it certainly didn't help detract attention away from his downward trend, which continued when he landed in another controversy for peeing in a mop bucket at a club in New York, which was actually captured in a viral video where his friends are cheering him on through the piss heard around the world.
That's the coolest spot to piss. You know, you'll forever remember that.
And when he's finished, they run away like a group of 6th graders and call themselves the Wild Kids.
What are we? We the Wild Kids, yeah!
But more importantly, Justin shouts out, "Fuck Bill Clinton." Now, personally, I think this piss is totally understandable because clearly he had a loaded diaper already. It appears that it got so full of poopy in there, he had to avoid a big no-no and go in the bucket. In all seriousness though, the problem people have with this is that Justin Bieber is a millionaire, of course, and he's pissing in some poor guy's bucket. Like, there's literally gonna be a minimum wage worker that goes to clean the floor only to discover that it's just filled with Justin's dehydrated pee. And that's just sad to think about. So, is this scandalous? 100%. Is this spoiled brat energy? Oh yeah, like 1,000,000%. But do I think that this was a bit blown out of proportion by tabloids and news outlets? Yes. There were actual think pieces written about this, such as this article, "The Dark Mango Psychology Behind Justin Bieber Peeing in a Mop Bucket." Quote, "Why pee on something? As Dr. Lynn McCormick, now a psychology professor at the University in Newcastle, Australia, said, they get caught up in the adrenaline and the group mentality because when you're in a group, individual responsibility decreases. There's a collective conscience that seems to somehow be lessened. If you were to ask each of those men individually and have them separate from their group, they would probably be appalled by their own behavior in the general public. But in the group, they get caught up." Yes, thank you, Captain Obvious. It is important to remember that Justin is still a teenager here, still 19, which doesn't make it right at all. But he is drunk in a bar, which he obviously shouldn't be. Like, again, hello, someone be a parent to this guy. Yet here he is, obviously, doing hood rat shit with his friends. It sure is dumb and immature, but it doesn't really surprise me that he has arrested development and is rude. But you know what? Maybe I'm biased. Because his crime is also somewhat offset because of the "fuck Bill Clinton" comment. Yeah, fuck Bill Clinton. All my homies hate Bill Clinton. And you know what? That's the part that really pisses me off. Here we go. Let's talk about this, okay? Justin was forced into apologizing to Bill Clinton. Hey man, everybody who wanted that, we all had the last laugh. Okay, look at this image. Anyways though, as you could probably tell from my previous loaded diaper comments, both his personality and his style kind of became the F-boy emoji at this point in time. I mean, check this out, you know, leather pants, spiky hats, gas masks. He also began getting the first of many tattoos for his sleeve, including this one that says believe in a very interesting font. And this is the big one, a tattoo of Selena Gomez, a portrait on his wrist as if she was a beautiful watch. And he apparently, at least up until very recently, has this tattoo.
This is my ex-girlfriend, so I kind of try to cover her face up with some shading, but people still know.
Despite being married, but we'll get back into the Selena stuff in a little bit. Now here comes one of the most infamous events in this timeline, which some of you may or may not remember. But before we get into that, I want to talk about my favorite delivery app, DoorDash. Do you guys ever have one of those days where you swear you're on top of everything, but then suddenly you realize that you don't have any food in the fridge? Well, there was this one time where I went into my fridge and I was looking for milk so I could eat some cereal, and all I found in there was just one potato, just sitting there menacingly. Who even puts potatoes in their fridge? Apparently me. But that's when DoorDash swooped in to save the day. DoorDash is an on-demand delivery app that brings almost anything from your local neighborhood straight to your door. It is super convenient. And you know, with me being a weird chick with no driver's license, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've relied on this wonderful app, whether it be to get a snack, ordering dinner, or delivering my groceries. DoorDash has been there for me. And if I'm being honest, even if I did drive, I probably would use it just as much. The other night, I was simply too tired to leave my house. I had on a little sleeping hat, a nightgown, a candle. I was comfortable, so I opened up that DoorDash app, tapped just a few buttons, and then bon appetit. My chicken wings were right there, clucking at the door. DoorDash is literally your door to having more time to enjoy whatever it is you enjoy doing. So download the DoorDash app today and use code Nikki50 to get 50% off and up to $10 off your first order of $15 or more. And guys, this is a limited time offer, okay? So grab this while you can. Thank you so much, DoorDash, for sponsoring me, and now back to the video. On April 12th, 2013, Justin would visit the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam with several of his friends. And the next day, via Facebook, the official Anne Frank house page revealed that he had written this in the guest book. Yesterday night, Justin Bieber visited the Anne Frank house together with his friends and guards. Fans were waiting outside to see a glimpse of him. He stayed more than an hour in the museum. In our guest book, he wrote, "Truly inspiring to be able to come here. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a believer." So this pissed off a lot of people for obvious reasons. I think it certainly comes off as self-conceited and insensitive, and outlets like ABC News and CNN quickly picked up on this.
Hopefully, she would have been a believer.
Anne was a great girl. Hopefully, she would have been a believer. That's right. And of course, that was that last part that got him into trouble.
Now, since Justin is 19 at this point, it is really up to you whether or not you want to give him any sort of grace. I'm also not Jewish, so I don't have a say in this. But I was very interested in what could possess him to say something so out of pocket. And I did find a possible explanation on Reddit if we do in fact want to be charitable for a moment. There is a thread in which commenters make a point that Anne Frank was a very, very young girl and she died at just 15 years old. So, like any other teenage girl, she enjoyed pop culture. And in her room, which is obviously displayed in this house, you can actually see that she had various photos of movie stars such as Norma Shearer and Greta Garbo. So perhaps, okay, big perhaps he saw this and hoped that a normal little girl with normal little girl interests would be a fan of his music. And this theory actually is so sad. It's so sad if you think about how she's just a normal little girl who likes things like that. But you know, I digress. I'm getting emotional. Maybe it is not that deep at all. To counterpoint this theory, he was also photographed shadowboxing with his friends. This is without a doubt cringe and rude, but there is also the possibility that it was blown out of proportion, like many things involving Justin Bieber. Perhaps this was a quick occurrence and not representative of the entire tour, like if they were goofing off the entire time. Either way, we'll never know the true levels of assholery or intentions behind this because he's never commented on it. The next thing that landed him in hot water was abandoning his baby monkey, who loved him no less, in fucking Germany. How are you gonna go from leaving questionable comments in the Anne Frank House guest book to leaving this little guy in Germany? Fucking Germany. I don't know. It just feels like two attacks at once. Let's back this up real quick though. On March 1st, 2013, Molly Mall gave Justin a baby capuchin monkey. Just a little over 4 weeks old. He's super adorable, for his 19th birthday, and he named him Molly. And if you don't know who Molly Mall is, he was a famous hip-hop producer and was introduced to Justin through one of his producers, Pooh Bear. However, Molly would later be convicted of sex trafficking. Perhaps that's not that surprising though, considering he has a very similar look to a certain other bald human trafficking man.
But if you're some dude I don't know and you need CPR and everyone's looking at me, who knows CPR? Well, me. Help him. No. Why? Because I ain't gay?
But yeah, that's just another example of the kind of people Justin's caretakers allowed him to be around. But here's a little lore on the reasoning behind Molly even knowing about Justin's fascination with monkeys in the first place. Quote, and this is coming from Bieberpedia, by the way, so this is serious business here. In 2013, Molly Mall got a phone call from Justin Bieber. Hey, I want to meet you. I want to meet your monkey. It's my little brother's birthday. Do you mind if I come throw a surprise party for him at your house? Molly Mall didn't mind, and they clicked right away. That day, Justin got a tattoo that symbolized the year his parents conceived him, which was the year that Molly Mall was born. So they got matching tattoos. So yeah, it's definitely worth it to mention that Justin no longer follows this guy, but let's just say it must be a bit of a bummer to have matching tattoos with a trafficker. Owl, what's this? Indeed. Now, the immediate issue with owning a capuchin is that they are extremely unpredictable and aggressive pets to own after they reach sexual maturity, meaning that they are a bit of a ticking time bomb. And also, most pet owners can simply not provide them what they need in the wild. So that being said, clearly entrusting a 19-year-old with one is a mistake. Regardless of the criticism that Justin was receiving about this though, he took this monkey everywhere with him, including world tours, which led to even more issues because owning a monkey requires special permits to keep, let alone take with you into public spaces and outside of your country. Therefore, if you don't have the correct papers, authorities have the legal right to seize your ape friend. And that is exactly what ended up happening to Justin. Just under 30 days of owning this capuchin, Justin flew on his private jet to Germany. And apparently Justin did not have the right papers to take him there, therefore he was seized in Munich. Here's where it gets really goofy though. Justin was given 30 days to provide the correct permits so he could get Molly back, or else he would be forced to become permanently German. And this led to Justin's management, presumably Scooter Braun, reaching out to see if Molly could be rehomed to a zoo instead. And that is exactly what ended up happening. Molly got rehomed to Serengeti Park in Hodgenhagen. They also fined Justin $8,000, but he allegedly never paid this. Justin would later speak up about this situation 3 years later, saying, quote, "In Germany, that monkey's endangered or something, ... But I had the papers," he said. "I even had it written out that he was a circus monkey and he could travel and all that shit. I had all the papers. Things get twisted." Whether or not we can take Justin's word for that, we do not know. But what we do know is that the German zoo claims that the monkey still has issues from this abandonment. They even post pictures of him every few years, posed next to pictures of Justin. But this isn't the only time that Justin abandoned his animals. In fact, there is an entire list of animals that Justin has adopted and then abandoned. This includes his pet hamster that he had for 2 months. Take this hamster, Pock, for example. He had only had this little guy for 2 months before giving him away to a random fan at the concert in an exchange that I imagine looked something like this. And Justin came under fire for this by the California Hamster Association. I'm sorry, the fact that that exists is so funny to me. But they were accusing Justin of animal cruelty due to putting Pock in that stressful environment. And I do have to agree with this criticism very strongly, because think about how small a little hamster's ears are. That is just nuts. Anyways, then there was Sushi and Tuna, which were 2 exotic savanna cats that he adopted with Hailey. And together, they cost $35,000. Cha-ching. These cats were a spectacle. They were all over Justin's social media. He paraded them around like these are his babies, you know. They had their own Instagram with hundreds and thousands of followers. But soon after their adoption and their social medias began trending, Sushi ran away for 2 whole weeks. As in, they had no idea where the hell this cat went. And when she finally re-emerged, Hailey and Justin gave Sushi and Tuna away to their cousin because they were, quote, too psycho. To which I have to say, yeah, no shit. These are wild animals that run faster than 30 miles per hour. They naturally do the bongo feet sound effect, okay? They're exotic. You expect an exotic animal not to be wild? Next, we need to talk about Todd the Stud. Yes, that is his full government name. Todd was a fluffy chow puppy, and he also had his own Instagram. And once again, he got lost. And when he re-emerged, he was given to one of Justin's backup dancers because he once again could not take care of them. But here's the fuck of it all, okay? Todd the Stud ended up getting diagnosed with severe hip dysplasia, a condition that would severely affect his ability to walk if he did not get corrective surgery, which cost $8,000. Because of this, Justin's backup dancer had to create a GoFundMe and was able to raise enough money via 40 different donors. And this begs the question, why the hell wouldn't Justin just pay for this himself? Why make his backup dancer go through that? Like, he wasn't even on the list of 40 donors who donated to make the surgery happen. Like, guys, goddamn, even Jaden Smith was a donor. And he doesn't even know the damn dog. Like, this is so uncouth. But finally, we have Karma, who according to this article was a Christmas gift to Justin in 2013. And this part is really sad because allegedly, according to their previous dog trainer, Trevor Devinchuk, that Justin's dad, Jeremy, threw Karma off a second-story balcony into a snowbank because Karma allegedly bit Justin's half-brother.
TMZ is reporting that Justin Bieber's dad was so upset when this dog allegedly bit his little brother Jackson that he threw him off of their second-story balcony into a snowbank.
Holy shit, that is a crazy escalation. And these claims about Justin's dad come from a variety of different sources, like Business Standard and Pop Crush. Granted, I don't know about Pop Crush, but Business Standard is apparently found to be pretty reliable. And believe it or not, this story actually gets even more strange because Jeremy disputed Devinchuk's claims and instead alleged that this dog trainer had stolen him, and even went as far as to say that the authorities are getting involved and in the process of retrieving Karma so that they could bring him back into the family. Now, this is just speculation on my behalf, but perhaps the dog trainer, air quote, stole the dog because he saw him get thrown out of a 2-story balcony into a snowbank. Okay, could that be possible? It's important to know that we have no way in verifying that this is true. However, I will bring it back and throw it into Jeremy's face, throw it all over the place, that he also allegedly went to jail for beating up a girl in a bar. The thing is, the math on the situation isn't looking good. And this is just me being a jerk at this point, but he looks like the type of guy who would own a dog just so that girls would stop and talk to him at a dog park. So they could be like, oh my God, is that a puppy? And he's like, yeah, it's a puppy. Do you like muscular men? My daughter herself 1 week ago.
Y'all like bodybuilders?
I like skinny, scrawny guys.
How about multimillionaires? How about 8 inches and thick? My daughter committed suicide 3 weeks ago.
Conclusively on this pet situation, it's really sad that a lot of celebrities adopt animals and treat them like they're some sort of luxury product. And the perfect example of that mentality truly is if you think about how Justin had an Instagram page for sushi and tuna that had over 200,000 followers, and they were photographed all over the place on his personal Instagram only for him to be like, oh, they're so psycho. Like, girl. Moving on to September 30th, 2013, let's talk about the Great Wall of Bieber incident. Basically, somebody snapped a photo of Justin being carried by his bodyguards up the Great Wall of China. And this is one of the funniest images I've ever seen because he looks like he's 10 years old. And the concept of you having your employees carrying you up what is probably one of the most insane freaking set of stairs that exists on the earth is kind of like stupendous. Because like, whoa, these are unreachable levels of being self-infatuated. And the response to this picture went viral and the comments on it were absolutely fuck. How would he have walked up the Great Wall of China in those pants? If I was a bodyguard and earned loads of money and had to do that, I would rather get fired. It has to be awful to be a bodyguard for a celebrity, seeing that most just do things just to do them.
King of douche and president of the doucheville.
He was 14 again.
Oh yeah, and you bet the Chinese citizens came for him as well. Quote, netizens in the country where the scene of the alleged travel offense occurred weren't shy about expressing their thoughts. On Weibo, China's microblogging site, a Phoenix TV presenter posted, the way that Zhao Pai Hai, Justin Bieber, hits the wall is really extravagant. Zhao Pai Hai is a word used to describe Chinese toddlers who wear toilet training friendly pants and expose their behind. But others defended him. Quote, "Come on guys, I, Brandon, don't care why is it such a big deal. I mean, who hasn't ever gotten a ride on somebody's back from when they were little or something like that? I mean, does Bieber or do I, Brandon, care? I mean, he doesn't care, I don't care, or some of these people here in the comments don't care. I mean, it's no one else lifting Bieber, is it?" Thumbs up emoji. I mean, come on, I don't care. I mean, add lest it's not me letting Bieber. They choose thy job, didn't they? One like. However, let's talk about the reality of this photo. There is more to it than what the public was shown. So Justin was only carried for a few minutes at the end of the hike for a photo. And he had in fact already walked over 2 hours with his bodyguards to reach that point. But to be honest, I'm not really sure what kind of message that he was expecting to send with a photo like this. Like, obviously people are gonna think that you're a little baby who won't climb the stairs. But yeah, this is to say that this was another incident, you know, that was blown out of proportion. Next, let's talk about the egging incident of January 2014. So apparently throughout 2013, Justin had a lot of run-ins with his neighbors, Jeffrey and Lisa Schwartz, at their home in Calabasas, California. And they alleged that Justin spit on them after they accused him of being too loud. Crazy as hell, if true, by the way. And I'm not trying to put my life on the line for this guy, but there totally could be more to this beef. After all, it seems like a huge escalation between saying, "Hey, you're being loud," to spit flying out of mouth. Maybe I just don't understand crazy people though. I'm just not that kind of crazy. But either way, the Schwartz sued Justin and made him pay $80,000 for egg damages and go to anger management classes and do probation for 2 years. And then 2 years later, Jeffrey Schwartz sued Justin again for emotional stress, wanting $1 million because his image was tainted, because everybody knew him as the guy who got egged by Justin Bieber. What the hell? Like, community service, anger management classes, the first fee, sure, but $1 million because you're the guy who got egged? I'm sorry, that is so stupid. Like, he ruined his public image himself by constantly bringing this up to the tabloids and doing public lawsuits. Also, hey, not saying egging is like a great thing to do, but real talk, how is it possible to have $80,000 in damages from eggs? I've seen enough Power Wash Simulator to know that it can't be that hard to remove them. Again, not saying that this is a good thing at all. I'm just simply curious about the numbers. But this brings us to one of Justin's most controversial crash outs to this date. Because on January 23rd, 2014, Justin would go to jail for drinking and driving dangerously fast like a mad lad, which led to this infamous mugshot. Basically, he was caught in his Lamborghini street racing in Miami Beach at 4 a.m. after drinking alcohol, smoking weed, and taking pills. Absolutely insane. Could have killed someone. This is what Justin said to the officer when he got pulled over. He said, "What the fuck did I do? Why did you stop me?" Bro doesn't know what a DUI is. Justin thought a DUI was only for 1 day. He mad. Obviously, after this, they arrested him and took him to jail. And he was held on a bond for $2,500, otherwise known as 2 pennies and 1 dime out of Justin's bank account. Also, $2,500 for almost killing people in a neighborhood is such a stark contrast from having to pay $80,000 just for egging a house, a rich person's house no less. But interestingly, this situation led to a bizarre conspiracy theory. And to explain this, you need to know one thing, which I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about, okay? A lot of people believe that rich people are lizards. If you didn't know that, you're welcome. There's crazy people who think that celebrities are reptilian humans, okay? And so they delusionally saw this video of Justin at his arraignment and decided that this right here is evidence that he is not a humanoid. Roll the clip, Jamie.
You don't drag race in a rental car because no one can win the pink slip.
He's an alien. His eyes changes. Look in his eye. As soon as his eyes change, the lady says, it's coming out. Look here. Whoa. How can you deny this? Why did you do that, Justin Bieber? The people who believe in this stuff are so interesting because they'll believe that the rich and elite are lizards, but won't believe that they need to pay more taxes and are taking advantage of everyone in the system. I don't know, it's just interesting. But if you thought that was nutty, it is not over yet, because later, all the way in March 2017, a news article by Perth News began circulating and alleging that hundreds of Justin's fans witnessed him firsthand shape-shifting into a lizard at an airport, and the article alleged that it had interviewed witnesses who had seen this transformation. Quote, there were girls hiding in toilets, crying, guys were running for the exits, jumping into taxis to get out of there. Jumping into taxis. Hey, I'm walking here. Now, this news article was allegedly deleted just a few days later after being uploaded, leading many to wonder why they even posted this article on their website in the first place. But Perth News came out and denied ever having publishing that article in the first place, citing that they never used capital letters in their headlines. So this obviously begs the question, who is the troll that made this article, made these posts trying to confirm the lizard conspiracy? This is definitely going up there with hashtag shave for Bieber in terms of trolling achievements. Maybe, as the film Smiley would say, they did it for the lols.
I did it for the lols.
What are they saying? But anyways, Justin's DUI ultimately led to more than 200,000 people signing a petition to deport him back to Canada. Here's the mission statement. We, the people of the United States, feel that we are being wrongly represented in the world of pop culture. We would like to see the dangerous, reckless, destructive, and drug-abusing Justin Bieber deported and his green card revoked. He is not only threatening the safety of our people, but he is also a terrible influence on our nation's youth. We, the people, would like to remove Justin Bieber from our society. And the White House did actually respond to this on their website, writing, sorry to disappoint, but we won't be commenting on this one. Now, driving drunk, driving recklessly, under the influence, that's so terrible. Like, especially when you really think, damn, he could have killed somebody. But because this is the internet, things are taken to real diabolical extremes. Like, if you thought that people hated him before, that was truly nothing, because men had been waiting in the freaking rafters for more things to validate their hatred. See this Italian man, for example, who actively wishes that Justin would have died and crashed and burned.
I'm wearing a fucking clip-on tie, and this little prick has the world by the balls, and just fuck him! Let him crash! Let him fucking die! I would pull over and eat popcorn while I see his fucking brains hanging from the fucking radiator. Fuck Justin Bieber!
Dear Italian sir, I am in awe of your rant. God bless you. That is all. I want to hear more from this guy. Angry Italian guy for president. Then in February, Justin and his father Jeremy boarded his private jet in order to go to the Super Bowl. And according to the pilots, during this flight, Justin and Jeremy began hotboxing the damn plane. In fact, they were smoking so much that the pilots attempted to get them to stop multiple times until finally they had to wear oxygen masks to continue to fly and land safely. And this, unfortunately, wasn't even the only issue that took place during this flight, because multiple sources allege that the flight attendant was harassed by both Justin and his father as well. And this allegedly was so out of hand, so out of pocket, that the captain locked her in with the pilots to keep her safe. Quote, the flight attendant stated the passengers, including Bieber and his father, Jeremy, were extremely abusive verbally and that she would not work another flight with them. To which I have to say that is horrible and gross on both of their behalves. It's literally hard to imagine anybody doing something that fucked up. And y'all already know what I'm gonna say about his dad. I think he is, you know, such a good role model, as you can see. Oh, and I forgot to mention that when they landed the plane, the DEA came in to investigate with their sniffer dogs to see if there was any, you know, more MJ around. But apparently there wasn't any, because him and his dad had smoked it all. Hotbox your pilots? You are thousands and thousands of miles up in the air and you're going to hotbox your pilots? How are you expecting this high off his ass pilot to not drop you right out of the sky thousands of miles up there? But this brings us to the most disappointing footage of Justin. Basically, in June of 2014, The Sun leaked a really incredibly racist video of Justin when he was 14 singing a parody of One Less Lonely Girl, except with the N-word.
One less lonely nigga. One less lonely nigga.
So this is so astronomically racist that I don't even really know what to say about it. The video becomes even more upsetting if you think about just how young and impressionable his fans are, especially people of color. Like, imagining what it would be like to be a young black girl who is a fan of Justin and hears that. That definitely hurt a lot of little girls, made them feel bad about themselves more than they probably already did, because society has a lot of stupid racist fucking things about it. So yeah, I'm sorry if there's anybody watching that had to deal with those complex emotions that arose from this. I don't know, like, if this happened to me, like, I'm trying to put myself in these shoes. Like, if Joe Jonas, the love of my life, said something really fucked up about Mexicans, what a number that would have done on me. I'm sorry, I'm rambling way too much right now. Like, I think you guys get what I'm trying to say. But this video, you know, also calls into question who the fuck these full-grown ass adults are that are sitting in this room with him and laughing. You can literally hear them laughing and encouraging this 14-year-old to say these vile things.
There's gonna be one less lonely nigga.
You know, kids, young teens, they're not just born into the world being fucking hateful. There's always some sort of adult that is enabling this and allowing it to continue. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have known better, because he totally should have, but also taking these adults into consideration, it's definitely some food for thought. So that being said, we're about to read the statement that Justin put out when this surfaced. Quote, as a kid, I didn't understand the power of certain words and how they can hurt. I thought it was okay to repeat hurtful words and jokes, but didn't realize at the time that it wasn't funny and that, in fact, my actions were continuing the ignorance. Thanks to friends and family, I learned from my mistakes and grew up and apologized for those wrongs. Now that these mistakes from my past have become public, I need to apologize again to all those I have offended. I'm very sorry. I take my friendships with people of all cultures very seriously, and I apologize for offending or hurting anyone with my childish and inexcusable mistake. I was a kid then, and I am a man now who knows my responsibility to the world and not to make that mistake again. Ignorance has no place in our society, and I hope the sharing of my faults can prevent others from making the same mistake in the future. I thought long and hard about what I wanted to say, but telling the truth is always what's right. 5 years ago, I made a reckless and immature mistake, and I'm grateful to those close to me who helped me learn those lessons as a young man. Once again, I'm sorry. Take with that what you will. Obviously, I'm not here to say forgive him or don't forgive him. We'll move on. As these 2 years of debauchery came to a close, it's safe to say that the general public viewed him as arrogant, problematic, and spoiled, which, especially with the N-word incident and the pot plane incident, obviously things were not looking good. And at the end of 2014, Justin would go home for an informal detox due to his ever-evolving use of drugs, alcohol, and mental health struggles. Something that I need to mention really quick, otherwise I am going to get confused and in turn confuse all of you, is that it is speculated that between November and December of 2014, Justin began dating Hailey Baldwin. They were photographed together multiple times, and Hailey even at one point had to deny that the two were together. However, sounds familiar. Justin and Selena did the exact same denial phase. Anyways, Justin would not hit a true redemption arc until 2015. After a long hiatus, he made his first public appearance on Ellen. And in this video, he is visibly nervous as he cautiously begins to address and soft launch a public apology for all the mistakes that he had made in those past 2 years.
I've done some things that might not have been the greatest.
Really?
So,
Nothing comes to mind. I don't know what you're talking about.
Then, shortly after this appearance, he would post a dimly lit video on Instagram where he apologized for his past behavior more head on, more in detail, and just fully laid it all out on the line.
So today I was on Ellen, but I was really nervous, and I think I was nervous because I was afraid of what people are thinking about me right now. I didn't want to come off arrogant or conceited, or basically how I've been acting the past year and a half. And I really want people to know how much I care about people, and how I'm not that person to say I don't give a fuck. You know, I'm not that kid. I'm the person who genuinely cares.
And the response to this was really good. People ate this up. This is so cool. For anyone who wanted the old Justin back as much as we did, here he is. I'm in tears. I love you so much, Justin. This is the Justin we all fell in love with. Now get your shit together, buddy. No more faking it. Oh, Justin, I love him so much. Believer for life, no matter what. Justin relied heavily on his priest throughout his homemade recovery, and he would continue leaning into his faith, which I'd say was another key factor into his rebranding. And so he began frequently attending service at Hillsong, which, if you don't know, is an offensively mega church in LA. Like, you've probably seen other mega churches, ones that have tiny roller coasters or fucking ATVs rolling up on stage. Well, this church eats those churches for breakfast, because at Hillsong you can run into people like the Kardashians, Vanessa Hudgens, or even Mario. The church is also known to be low-key homophobic. In an August 2015 blog post, the church's founder, Mr. Houston, said that gay people were welcome at Hillsong, but that it did not affirm a gay lifestyle. But hey, I mean, I guess it keeps him out of trouble. He then went on to release his fourth studio album, which was called Purpose, which featured, I might add, the extremely overplayed song Sorry, known to me for having played hundreds of times a day at my job at Albertsons, and also having the most oversaturated music video in existence. Oh yeah, and also that song Cody Ko did a DJ set to right after allegations came out about him, so this has quite the history. But Purpose debuted at #1 on the Hot Billboard 200. And the album wasn't just a commercial success, it marked a turning point for Justin's career with its much more mature sound and more vulnerable lyrics. And speaking of the lyrics on this album, Justin would later say in a Billboard interview that many of the songs from Purpose were about his ex-girlfriend, Selena. These lyrics being most prominently displayed in What Do You Mean and Sorry. A sentiment that was shared between the both of them, because Selena had also released a song about him called The Heart Wants What It Wants. Shortly after, Justin would do another interview where he said that he's still in love with Selena. And then on November 20th, 2015, just 7 days after the release of Purpose, Justin was seen with Selena at the Montage Beverly Hills Hotel Bar, where he was literally singing a song called My Love, just serenading her in the freaking restaurant. So the public was like, something's going on here. What's happening? Are they back together? But then, bam, just 1 month later, on December 31st, Justin was seen kissing Hailey. Okay, so Justin and Hailey are together at this point, right? Wrong. Well, sort of. In a later interview with GQ, Justin would say that during this time, Hailey was somebody that he loved, but that he didn't want to be held down by anything. Quote, I don't want to feel like the girl I love is an added responsibility, he muses. I know that in the past, I've hurt people and said things that I didn't mean to make them happy in the moment. So now I'm just more so looking at the future, making sure I'm not damaging them. What if Hailey ends up being the girl I'm gonna marry, right? If I rush into anything, if I damage her, then it's always gonna be damage. So he says this, right? He says, I'm working on myself, right? Like, I don't want to get in a relationship. I don't want to mess things up. Yet, this love triangle, all these relationships get even more complicated and, quite frankly, disgusting when in August of 2016, Justin began dating Sofia Richie. And if you don't know who Sofia Richie is, she is Nicole Richie's sister. Okay, iconic. We love the simple life on this channel. And she's also a model and influencer. But more importantly, she is presently 27 years old. And how old did this make her in 2016? 17. Dating Justin, a 22-year-old. That is a 5-year age gap with a minor. Justin, why are you dating a high schooler? This was just such a horrible and bizarre twist. I had never heard of this before. I'd never heard anybody talk about this before at all. And to think this is why he couldn't commit to Hailey? Girl, I swear to God. And guys, literal news outlets were reporting on this, but we're not making any sort of big deal that she's literally 17. Like, read the title of this news article. Justin Bieber jets off to Japan with Sofia Richie 2 weeks before her 18th birthday. Bro, you've got to be joking. And what's even more bizarre, perhaps, is that this was indeed controversial within his fandom. His fans were indeed upset, but not because this is creepy as fuck, actually, because they liked his ex-girlfriends better, because they were like, oh, we want Selena or we want Hailey back. Like, what? This was all displayed and escalated when Justin posted a picture of her on his Instagram, and the comments were overwhelmingly negative, okay? And this is when we begin treading the line of evil and stupidity, with Justin publicly saying, I'm gonna make my Instagram private if you guys don't stop the hate. This is getting out of hand. if you guys are really fans, you wouldn't be so mean to people I like. And then this is fucking insane, okay? Selena commented on his post saying this with, if you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend. LOL. It should be special between you two only. Don't be mad at your fans. They love you and supported you before anyone ever did. Then Justin clapped back, saying, it's funny to see people that used me for attention and still try to point the finger this way. Sad. All love. What? That is some crazy beef. And then I couldn't get a screenshot of this anywhere, but apparently Selena commented back accusing him of cheating, to which there is a screenshot of this. Justin replied, I cheated? Oh, I forgot about you and Zayn? Question mark. Presumably accusing her of cheating on him with Zayn from One Direction. Oh, and then Hailey inserted herself into this situation by posting this statement on Instagram. We've all had our fair share of things we've done, both good and bad. What makes the present so powerful is when we take complete responsibility for our actions. We allow ourselves self-growth. Misplacing the blame onto somebody else isn't going to get you to the next stage in life. So try not to manipulate a situation to make yourself look better. Now, with that, she obviously didn't say directly who she is talking about, but posting this immediately after all of this bickering and drama, making it clear that she is saying, stop placing the blame on someone. And some people interpret this as her taking Selena's side in the situation. I'm not sure. She could literally be talking about Sophia, she could be talking about Selena, or worst of all, perhaps she's talking about Justin, who deserves no amount of defending in this situation. Like, think about it. Justin is threatening to make his Instagram private because people won't stop bullying his high school girlfriend. What in the Scott Pilgrim is going on? Anyways, I really hate to skirt past this whole Justin being a predator thing, but after only a few weeks, he broke up with Sophia. And then no one has ever made one peep about it since. Except for me. Start the conversation in the comments. Moving into January 2017, Selena Gomez goes public with her relationship with The Weeknd. And it's this same day that many fans speculate that Bella Hadid threw some shade at Selena by tweeting about The Weeknd's ex, Bella Hadid, writing, wait, sorry? Who could possibly be cuter than Bella Hadid? ... Literally nobody. Okay, that is definitely a little bit questionable. I'd say that's a little bit of a coincidence. I don't know. What is kind of undeniable though, and honestly, I think this is beyond speculation, Justin was very jealous about this relationship. Why do I say that? Well, there is a video of Justin getting approached by the paparazzi asking him whether or not he liked The Weeknd's music. And in response, he said, that shit whack.
Can you listen to a Weeknd song? If
Hell no, I can't listen to a Weeknd song.
You can't? Why not? Whack.
And then, in retaliation to this comment, The Weeknd released a song called Some Way that literally talks shit about Justin. And these lyrics are actually fucking atrocious, by the way. What the fuck? I think my nuts look better on her face. This bitch got addicted. All she do was take a taste. Now you getting mad because you got replaced. The brown boy and the star boy on a track. Yeah. Haters gonna say this shit whack. I have to give him flowers for where that's due though. That is a callback. That is definitely something. But he does go on to be more gross. He says, I went to the hills straight from the trap. I'ma fuck your bitch. And she gave me her back. Okay. But The Weeknd being really gross would backfire on him like immediately, because by October, Selena and Justin were reconnecting after her kidney transplant. And then by March 1st, 2018, they were dating once again, with Selena making this public on her Instagram. But 1 month later, we would face the Jelena breakup final boss. Okay, they would break up for the last time. But freaking then, Justin would get engaged to Hailey 2 months later. And this is a decision that would be widely discussed and asserted to be a bad decision. And you know what? It really is nobody's business to criticize a stranger's life decisions, but it is pretty fucking crazy to get engaged to somebody else that short of time after breaking up with somebody for the last time that you've been seeing on and off again for 8 years. Despite what people thought though, Justin and Hailey would get married on September 18, 2018 on a freaking plantation. Oh boy, that is cringe. This plantation is called Palmetto Bluff, and if y'all have seen my It Ends With Us video, you already know how I feel about people that get married on a damn plantation. Like, it is definitely within the top 5 of the tackiest things that you could ever do. What in the hillbilly do we have no humanity? And something I want to mention really quick before we move on is that Palmetto Bluff has the insufferable audacity to quote Maya Angelou on their website to try and justify their operation. Quote, "History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but if faced with courage, need not be lived again." Bitch! You know that is not what she meant. Like, oh well, slavery can't be undone, so let's say cheese and make some new memories. And although they just got married, allegedly this did not stop Hailey from thinking about Selena. Because on November 16th of 2018, the House of Sell debacle would occur, when Hailey Bieber would allegedly follow a Selena Gomez fan page called House of Sell. Then, just moments later, messaged the owner apologizing for accidentally following her. I don't even know why I'm saying allegedly, like there is proof of this happening. But anyways, this caused a lot of drama to circulate online afterwards, with people, of course, asking, why is Hailey snooping on Selena? Let's break this down. Let's think about this. This is a random fan account. There's no reason for her to apologize for following or unfollowing a random fan page. And 2, if Hailey was afraid of attracting gossip, why would she feed into it by DMing this person and bringing more attention, feeding into it? The owner of this account said that she didn't even notice until Hailey DM'd her. So what could this possibly mean? Could she have done this on purpose to be petty, to slight Selena's fans, or just to let Selena know she be snooping? Which I know this is kind of a reach, but I'm just simply trying to understand. And of course, with anything with tabloids, there is a chance that this isn't real, but from all that I've looked at, this appears to have indeed occurred, and this was a real DM. But moving on to October of 2019, Selena Gomez would release the song Lose You to Love Me, a song in which the lyrics very clearly allude to her and Justin's breakup, especially with the line, "In 2 months, you replaced us like it was easy." Okay, obviously talking about Hailey and Justin's engagement. And so, according to netizens, right after this song went live, Hailey posted this on her story. The song I'll Kill You by Summer Walker, which has lyrics such as, "That's on my mama, yeah, that's on my hood. Don't want no problems. I wish a bitch would. Try to come between us. It won't end up good. You know I love you like no one else could." And apparently Summer Walker herself has described this as a song about protecting your man from other women. Now, I could understand why people would find this suspicious, But I also think there is a large possibility that this is a reach, because all the articles and all the people that I could find talking about this all say that she posted this soon after the song was released, okay? Like, how soon is soon? And who is truly paying attention to the exact moment a song is coming out? But so many accounts began posting about how this was shade towards Selena that Hailey actually ended up commenting underneath one, writing, "Please stop with this nonsense. There is no response. This is complete BS." Soon after this, Selena Gomez did a live stream on Instagram that said she's grateful for the response that the song is getting, but that she does not stand for women tearing other women down.
I do not stand for women tearing women down. Please, for me, know that that's not my heart.
So it seemed like they were on the same page and didn't want any sort of beef. And Hailey even liked a picture of her that one of their mutual friends posted afterwards. But now seems like a good time to bring up Justin's treatment of Hailey, because people obviously feel like there is negative tension going on between her and Selena. But what about Justin? How's his relationship with his wife? Well, many people theorize that Justin has always treated Selena better than Hailey, and that he secretly wishes that he had married her instead. And while I personally think that's a very unhinged thing to believe about people that you do not know, I will walk you through the thought process. Like I mentioned in part 1, there are several notorious videos of Justin being rude to Hailey. For example, the car door incident. So as you can see in this video, as Justin exits the car, he slams the door in Hailey's face and then just walks away without a care. There's a clip of him saying he would have gotten rid of her a long time ago if she wasn't so hot.
If you weren't so hot, I would have got rid of you a long time ago.
Karate chopping her. There's videos of him rudely interrupting her on live streams.
But it definitely is, you know, it sucks that the tour was pushed on.
She was asking me. Huh?
Anyways.
They're asking me because it's my Lyme disease. It's not your Lyme disease.
Sometimes
they asked if I was scared about the Lyme disease because I was the one who has it.
Right, but I didn't say that. I just was saying that you were taking on this.
What's the meaning,
Yeah, that's the attitude.
But one of the most memorable occurrences was on February 17th, 2020, when Hailey casually dropped a video at her absolutely obliterating Justin at a milk jug game. And while her score speaks for itself, Justin's reaction is absolutely unhinged.
That is my score. Husband's score.
Baby, I wasn't trying!
I beat you, accept it!
That has to be the official battle cry of someone who very much was trying. This is crazy as fuck. Like, there is a possibility that this is a joke, but it feels very charged. And there is a lot of conclusions that you can draw from watching those clips. You might be saying to yourself, oh, he hates his wife. And you know, maybe he does. However, maybe he doesn't. It's a bit hard to tell with some of these clips because a lot of them are taken out of context. That's not to say that some of these aren't really bad, like the milk jug thing is pretty insane. But to play devil's advocate for a moment, to play Justin's advocate, if you will, not that he necessarily deserves it, but I have journalistic integrity. Let's take a look at one of the most viral videos of Justin being mean to Hailey. In this one, they're both on the red carpet and it appears that Justin is refusing to take a photo with her. But in reality, this clip is slowed down and the beginning is completely cut out. Now, why would somebody do this? Maybe because if you saw the entire video, you would see that Justin was being very, very affectionate with her, maybe even a little bit too affectionate, right before they were both asked to take separate photos. There's also a viral clip of Justin refusing to hold Hailey's hand when in reality he was pulling up his shorts and like 2 seconds later you can see they're holding hands. And if we revisit the clip of Justin slamming the door in Hailey's face, moments later, you can actually see them together eating at a restaurant, smiling and laughing. So is there a possibility that he thought that she was gonna get out on the other side? Maybe. People will also post things like, Justin opens car door for a friend, but not Hailey. Then if you watch the damn video, it's like, bro, who gives a shit? Hailey is on the other side of the car. His friend is on his side of the car. It's not that crazy that he would open it up really quick. It was convenient for him. But the comments are quick to assume that this was incredibly malicious. They hate each other. OMG, this is so embarrassing for her. OMG, if my husband did that to me, I would be done. It's one thing to be treated like that as a teen in a not so serious relationship, but they're both nearly 30. Like, what the fuck? When she is with Justin, she's like an obedient dog. With other people, she acts like she is the real deal. Like, whoa. Again, their marriage could totally be fucked up behind the scenes, but this is kind of insane to analyze this video this way. Like, what the fuck are y'all smoking? Because I want some. I mean, are any of the claims about their relationship believable? I don't know, bro. In contrast, there's also a lot of clips where he's talking very highly of her.
I had no idea that I was gonna marry her at that time. No, but I'm glad it worked out because she's an amazing, amazing, amazing person.
Yeah, she seems like it.
She really is. She's super precious. And I enjoy spending my life with her.
But let's go ahead and put a pin in this. In my opinion, okay, on these complete strangers, it's obvious that they got engaged way too soon after his breakup with his long-term girlfriend. It's pretty insane. And if we look at these patterns, as we'll continue to do, between Hailey and Selena, I, in my opinion, think that it's easy to understand why she would feel insecure as his wife, when in many cases, it seems that Justin handled things immaturely, such as when he said that he couldn't commit to her because he didn't want to hurt her feelings, but then dated a teenager and then went back out with Selena Gomez. Fast forward to January 13th, 2020. Hailey would go to dinner with Madison Beer at the same restaurant that Selena Gomez was presently celebrating the release of her album Rare at the exact same time. Many people found this to be a bit strange. I mean, I'm not trying to be conspiratorial, as always, but it is a little bit weird to coincidentally be at the same restaurant where there is such a big event happening for Selena Gomez and not realize that that's going on as you've entered, as you've been sitting down. Like, it's kind of crazy. I'm a little confused with how that happened, but moving on to February 21st, 2020, people began speculating that Hailey Bieber was throwing shade at Selena with this quote on her story. "A person in 2 months could make you feel what a person in 2 years couldn't. Time means nothing. Character does. Unknown. Hello, Ruby Car, is that you?" People interpret this as a jab because of Selena's lyric in Lose You to Love Me, which says, "In 2 months, you replaced us." People were really attached to this speculation and this narrative, whether or not it's true, to the point where at the 2021 Met Gala, fans chanted Selena at them on the red carpet. And in the video that shows this, it appears that Hailey is crying and Justin is comforting her, which is honestly really sad if that is the reason. Hailey later did an interview with Call Her Daddy where she denied being able to fully hear what they were chanting at her and that this wasn't him comforting her. Who knows if that is the truth or if she's just saying that so that there isn't this whole huge deal about it. Either way, it's pretty fucked up. On the bright side though, there's supposedly no beef. And in September of 2022, Hailey reinforced this by taking a picture with Selena hugging. However, by 2023, things were getting questionable, okay? At this time, Selena Gomez was experiencing a lot of body shaming. She had gained some weight, whatever. Who cares? A lot of people come to Selena's defense about this, saying she was going through a lot of health problems. It's okay that she gained weight. She was going through a lot. Bitch, it doesn't matter about health problems or not. The point is that you don't make fun of somebody for their weight. So bizarre that people have to feel the need to defend somebody and make up like whatever kind of excuse, valid or not, for somebody gaining weight when it literally does not matter. I don't know. That's something that it just bothers me. That's besides the point though. The point is, while Selena was getting bombarded with negative comments, Hailey and Kylie Jenner posted a video lip syncing the audio. I'm not saying she deserved it, but God's timing is always right. And people quickly reacted to this video and began calling them mean girls, calling them out for like bullying Selena. And apparently on one of these videos calling Hailey and Kendall out, Selena commented, "I don't let these things get me down. Be nice to everyone," which people took to be confirmation that Selena felt they were talking about her as well. Meanwhile, Hailey commented underneath another video calling them out, saying, "I never comment on this type of thing, but we were just having a girls' night and did a random TikTok sound for fun. It's not directed at anyone," with a sparkly and then a heart emoji. That kind of reads to me as pissed off, which if she did not mean anything by that TikTok, then I completely understand. I guess it's just interesting that it seems like Selena perceived that as a slight. And apparently this just kept on escalating because 2 months later in March, Selena Gomez would post on her story saying, "Hailey Bieber reached out to me and let me know that she has been receiving death threats and such hateful negativity. This isn't what I stand for. No one should have to experience hate or bullying. I've always advocated for kindness and really want all of this to stop." Then fast forwarding all the way to 2024, genuinely, we could talk about this all day. There is so much lore to this, and this video is probably already an hour and a half long, but as probably all of you know, Selena Gomez ended up getting engaged to Benny Blanco, who ironically Justin worked with quite a few times and was friends with. And fans theorized that at this point, Justin began crashing out. First of all, he apparently liked a photo of Selena and Benny Blanco kissing and then quickly unliked it. Then he posted a picture of himself with Hailey with the song All My Ghosts by Lizzie Alpine in the background. And people were quick to point out that that song is all about being haunted by a previous relationship, and even makes a reference to the wedding of the year. Lizzie Alpine herself says that the song is about trying to move past the emotional trauma accumulated from a relationship. It's about finally wanting to be rid of the things that that person left with you and be able to love a new person freely. Listen, if you want my real unadulterated opinion, I think this man lives for the drama, lives for the tea. Because think about it. If this was you were in the spotlight, your relationship is always in the spotlight, people are always bringing up your ex, wouldn't you think to not use that song? I mean, I just think Justin is too smart to not realize that this could happen. Why this song on an otherwise happy looking post? And if you look at the comments, they are all about Selena. The song choice is wild. He loves controversy. Bro, just admit it. You ain't happy. Sorry for your loss. 10,000 likes. Sorry for your loss is crazy. Justin also went on to post this reel on his story of Gala. Girls on social media when they get engaged. Bruh. Like, he's too smart to not know that people are going to say this if he posts things like this. Like, is this man truly just the biggest rage baiter that has ever lived? He also posted this meme, which says, "Me acting psycho daily when I'm just a sweet, cute little innocent girly who crashes out sometimes? Girl, what? And by the way, underneath a post that has these stories of his compiled, there's comments that say things like, he's acting like a jealous teenage boy. 62,000 likes. As if Hailey didn't flaunt her ring. 17,000 likes. J equals jealousy. I smell jealousy. Anyways though, on August 23rd, 2024, Jack Blue's Bieber was born. They would also post a picture of Jack's wrinkly ass foot. I think this baby is adorable, and I'm not trying to talk shit on him at all. I just think it's kind of funny that there's always these pictures of babies' feet that are posted, and they always look crazy as hell. So that finally brings us to 2025, where Justin Bieber is acting just as bizarre as ever. He spam posts on Instagram nearly every day, and some of it is about self-reflection, some of it is nonsensical, and some of it is like very self-indulgent. Let me read you a self-reflective story that he published. People told me my whole life, wow, Justin, you deserve that. And I personally have always felt unworthy, like I was a fraud. Like when people told me I deserved something, it made me feel sneaky, like damn, if they only knew my thoughts, how judgmental I am, how selfish I really am, they wouldn't be saying this. I say all this to say, if you feel sneaky, welcome to the club. I definitely feel unequipped and unqualified most days. But probably the most unfreaking real thing that Justin has done this year, unfollow his own wife on Instagram. And then when fans noticed, he posts this on his story. Someone went on my account and unfollowed my wife. Shit is getting sus out here. Shit is getting sus out here? You really expect me to believe that somebody hacked your account just to unfollow your wife? Really? So to the shock of many people, Justin ended up unfollowing like most of the people he worked with as a child this year. He even unfollowed Scooter Braun, which is pretty intense if you consider their relationship and what it was for so many years. And it makes you wonder what the hell went on behind the scenes. And you know, as of today, what he's been doing is just spontaneously releasing albums and also being problematic. Justin hangs out with former child star Kyle Massey, a convicted sex offender. He also publicly supports Chris Brown. Yeah, so I mean, and I am officially exhausted with this man. Is he a victim? Is he a villain? Is he an asshole? Is he mentally ill? I say all of the above. All these things are true all at once. That's where we're gonna end this off because this is gonna go on literally forever. I could keep talking about this forever. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. There's another video coming out in just a few days. It's a book video. I know y'all are waiting for Shane Dawson 3, and don't worry, that is in the works, but I just moved across the country this month, so that kind of had to get postponed a little bit. Although I promise there is a lot of research done. We are working on it and it will be out soon. With that being said, I really need to thank my patrons, starting with the base nerd tier: Roof M, AJ, Aaliyah, Alexandria, Amanda Roberts, Amelia, Anna Staunton, Boogmut, Baka Ramstarin, Baldur's Babe, BB, Bioket, Boo Habib Baba, Boney, Bubbly Fox, Casey H, Cecil, Thirsty, Clyde, Dimmy, Dory, Emin, Emily O, Georgie, Gollum, Grace Squiggle, Gramps, Hey Hey, Helen Mellahertz, Hudson Cruz, Jake Gross, Jeremiah, Julia, Caitlin Payne, Kat K, K Money, Callie Jorgensen, Key Caballero, Kiwi Me, Lane, Lauren, Laylabot, Levy Rogers, Lola Cat 18, Luchador, Mackenzie Maddox, Milena, Mia Martinez, Melina, Nasta Crochet, No Period, No Cantaloupe, Ocean Vermin, Pop Smat, Rachel Stanley, Sabrina AG, Salem, Skylar Host, Skylar Rose, Stella Enrique, Sweet Ichigo Art, Tacky, Vanessa, Viner, Wyatt Ilian, Zayla Bobela, Yassi B, and then there is the cool nerd tier, Abby, Annalise, Brooke, Chola Duntupon, Coochie Slayer, Jesus, Joaquin Alatorre, Joshi, Kirby, K-Jax, Linton Johnson, Maddie Rockowitz, Maribel Luna, Rene Poo, Ricky K, Roy Salgado, Sean McLeish, Serenata Wright, Zubab, Zugi E, and that is everybody. Thank you so freaking much for watching. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that it took so long for all this to come out. And I'm back to work.